Hello, Cheeseheads. Thank you for joining us for this special edition quiz pod. Sorry we're a little bit late. We actually got about 20 minutes in before we realised I hadn't clicked the go live button. So we were just talking amongst ourselves, having an absolutely fantastic time with absolutely zero viewers. Thank you for sticking with us if you're still there, and we will crack straight into it. The pod is being recorded for YouTube, and it's also going to be released as a podcast, which unfortunately for my guests means that they get to see me as well as hear me, and means that unusually for my first guest, he has actually had to put some clothes on this time. Well, I hope he has anyway, and not just wear his boxers and dressing gown. Introducing from sunny East London, Franco, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I look like a bit of a div with a headset on. I look pretty pink as well. But yeah, it'll still be a mystery as to what is beneath the shoulders, Seb, I'm afraid. You have to use
I don't even want to think about it, mate. It's yeah, as I said, it kind of a little bit of sick came up in my mouth.
I had to go to the corner shop to get some milk earlier, so I've got some clothes on, don't worry.
On to my second guest, as you can see, joining us and up at some ungodly hour in Sydney, Australia, is Dave. Dave, how are you and what time is it where you are?
I'm still up at an ungodly hour, and it's 5:28 a.m. on a, where are we now? Wednesday morning. It's winter. How are we all?
It's winter, 30 degrees or something like that?
It's about 8 degrees at the moment, and I've just got my heater starting to work, so I'm a bit warmer now. Thank you very much.
Have you got a onesie on? Is that a onesie I can see, or is it just a tracksuit top? Or do I not want to know?
Excuse me, I'm a man of a certain age, does not wear onesies. Thanks very much. I'm wearing my Tottenham Champions League jumper, which my brother bought for me and sent out here on actually when we got knocked out of the Champions League in Franco's season. So there you go. We don't just put this show together. It's carefully curated.
Okay, so we've alluded a little bit to the format of the quiz. Those of you who maybe remember the quizzes that we did in lockdown where there was zero football, and being honest, we had very little to talk about. This is actually a completely different format. So both of the players tonight have been asked to come up with one season, and all of the questions that they are asked will be about that one season that they requested. There's a few twists and turns along the way, but making it clear, there's no trick questions. It is just simple quiz format, and each round will tell you exactly what the plan is and how you can win points. So firstly, Franco, what is your chosen season?
I've gone for 16-17, the last season at White Hart Lane, undefeated, purely because my memory's not brilliant, so I didn't want to go too far back. And yeah, I mean, the team was pretty much the same every game. So fingers crossed it ain't too hard.
I have to admit, it was easier to write your side of the quiz than it was for Dave, because Dave, your season of choice is?
Well, I mean, there was a bit of chat about this. Some people thought I was going to go with 1921, Jimmy Dimmock and the FA Cup final and all of that. But Seb protested that the records didn't go back that far. So I've gone with 1986-87, David Pleat, scintillating football that ultimately ended in mass disappointment, which is kind of typical Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I have to be honest, that season was had the first game that I ever attended. And certainly it was the first season that I can really remember much about, poring over stats and stuff like that. So I had to do a little bit more research, but the questions after a while did kind of come a bit easier. Right. The first round is really, really simple. Just 10 questions each. Franco, you'll go first. I'll ask you 10 questions, and then we will cover the answers to your questions. And then Dave, I'll answer yours. Obviously, if it's not your questions, don't answer. This is just a pure general knowledge round. There's no bonus points to be gained for answering anybody else's questions or things like that. Okay. There are a few questions where you'll need multiple answers or two answers. For instance, which two players? And in order to get the point, we're not doing any half points. In order to get the point, you'll need to give me both of the answers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, don't prevaricate too much. If you don't know it, move on, and we'll cover it when we kind of go over the answers. So, just do your best. I don't think they're tricky, but I've said that before. And Franco, you always used to bollock me after after doing the quizzes for making it too hard. But Franco, are you ready for your 10 questions?
Yep, far away.
Okay. Question 1. How many games did Spurs lose in the Premier League in 2016-17?
4.
Yes. Spurs' biggest attendance of the season was 85,512 against
Bayer Leverkusen.
Franco. You're starting well, mate. Can only go one way from here. Name the 2 Frenchmen signed on the last day of the August transfer window.
Sissoko and Nkudu.
Yeah. Who was player of the year?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to have to go with Kane.
No. Spurs only lost 1 Premier League game by more than a single goal. Who was the opposition?
Premier League game. Was it Liverpool?
Yeah. Which championship side did Spurs beat 6-0 in the FA Cup quarter-final?
That was Millwall.
Yes. Spurs won all their home games in the Premier League apart from 2 draws. Name both of the opponents.
Liverpool was one.
Yeah.
Leicester.
Franco, you're on fire. How many goals did Harry Kane score in the last 3 games of the season?
So, that was Leicester, Hull, and Man United, wasn't it? The last home game. So he scored 4. He scored 3. He's 8.
Unbelievable, mate. Yes. Who scored? So 2 players here, 2 separate players. Who scored Spurs' first goal of the season, and who scored Spurs' last goal of the season?
The last game of the season was Kane, I think, wasn't it?
No, you can't get that, mate. I mean, you can give me the first one for a bit of fun, but you won't get the point there.
And I think the first one was Lamella.
It was, yeah. It was Toby who scored the last one of the season.
Did he? Damn.
Spurs won their final 14 home matches in the league, equaling a record previously set over 2 seasons. Previously, so a Spurs record. Name either of those 2 seasons. You only have to name one of the seasons to get the point.
No idea. No, I've got no idea. 2015.
No, so Dave, there's no bonus point for you here, but do you know the seasons by any chance?
Yeah, I do, because I think 86, 87 was one of the seasons.
It was, yeah, 86, 87 into 87, 88. Well, look, Franco, you did really, really well. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 out of 10. The only ones that you didn't get were player of the season was, Dave, do you know?
Ericsson.
It was Ericsson, yeah. Obviously, we covered the other 2. Toby scored the last goal of the season that season, and 86, 87 into 87, 88.
And can you name the team that we lost to for that record?
I think I know the team before. The team at the start of the thing in that season was Arsenal.
Yep.
In January, and then I would guess it might be Arsenal again.
Well done, Seb. Points for you, even though you're the host. But well done, Frank. Well done, Franco, because you've answered questions on the footballing equivalent of what fish and chip supper did you have last week. I'm going back to 1986, 87. So here we go.
Dave, all you ever talk about is 1986 or the 80s and 90s. It's like where your jokes come from as well.
Brilliant.
How dare you?
Right. Dave,
yeah.
Are you ready for your 10 questions? Okay.
I am.
Like I said, yours took a little bit more research. I don't think. I hope they're not harder than Franco's. They're obviously of a similar ilk. So, question 1.
Yeah.
On October the 18th, 1986, I attended my first Spurs match. The result being a 1-1 draw against Northern opposition. Who were the opposition?
Bloody hell. Sheffield Wednesday?
Oh, he's done it. Spot on. Well done. Okay, in Spurs' first 12 league games, they only had 2 different goal scorers. One was Clive Allen with 11 goals. Who scored the other goal?
Chrissy Waddle.
No.
Ooh.
Who did Spurs sign in October 1986 for £600,000?
Nico Clarkson.
Yes. Which team did Spurs beat 4-0 at White Hart Lane on the day that Everton were crowned champions?
Man United.
Yes. Name the missing team. So I'm going to give you a few teams. There's one missing. You got to tell me who the missing team is. Scunthorpe, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, missing team, Watford, Coventry.
Wimbledon. Yes.
Which two players came joint second in Spurs goal scoring charts behind Clive Allen?
Is that league only or league and cup?
That's total goals for the season. Yeah.
Nico Clarkson.
Yeah.
And Chrissy Waddle.
Yes. Okay, two players made the most appearances across the season with 55 each. Who were they?
Clements.
Yeah.
Mabbott.
No. Can't give you that point, Dave, I'm afraid. Name the Spurs youth product who scored 2 goals towards the end of the season.
The bloody hell. Youth product.
Come on, Dave.
I'm going to have to go David Howes.
No, afraid not, no. How many games did Spurs play in a crazy 21 days in April?
What? 9.
No, very close, though. And your final question, Glenn Hoddle scored one of the greatest goals ever seen at White Hart Lane, his last goal for the club. Against who?
I was there. And the owner's daughter's just been sentenced to prison. So it's Oxford. There you go. Going back in time and making it contemporary. That's what I bring to the cheese room.
Nice, Dave.
Well,
Thanks.
do you know what, Dave? Very, very impressive. 6. You got 6 there. So, Franco, I don't think anyone expected you to be in the lead at any point today.
No.
But
He won't last.
We'll just cover some of the questions. So, you started really well. The goal scorer, Franco, any ideas?
No.
Graham Roberts.
Really?
Really odd. If you look at the opening games, like I say, first 12 games, 12 goals scored, 11 by Clive Allen, 1 by Graham Roberts. That was it.
So against Man City, I think.
I think you might be right, actually. I think you spotted.
Bloody hell.
No bonus points there, Dave. The two players who made the most appearances with 55, you got Clements. Any other guess on the other one?
Goff.
It was Goff. The Spurs youth product who scored 2 goals towards the end of the season.
Sean Close.
Absolutely spot on, Sean Close.
Oh.
Do you know what's really weird about that? Out of all the players that Spurs had that season, the poster that I had on my wall was of Sean Close. So that's why I wanted to get a Sean Close question in the pod tonight. Right, and this really, I had to double and treble check this. I couldn't believe this. So, in 21 days in April, Spurs played how many games?
10.
I said 9.
It's the other way. It's 8, which is still crazy. So they played. I've written this down. They played on the 4th, the 7th, the 11th, the 15th. Which you think, okay, that's busy. Then they played on the 18th, the 20th, the 22nd, and the 25th. Which is just insane. And that included an FA Cup semi-final and 7 league games. It's just absolutely bizarre. And they're kind of really where their title bid, I think, kind of fell down quite a bit. You imagine that now. You imagine Klopp or Guardiola commenting about how many games they're trying to fit into April. Absolutely crazy. So let me see if I can change this on the old scoreboard. I'm going to try and do it now. Bear with me 1 second. In fact, I'll delete that off. So Franco, as we said, can't quite believe it.
I should get my gloating in now, shouldn't I? While I still can. That Dave 7-6.
Look, Franco, you've had a tough shift at the airport directing planes in today. So,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I wonder what that means.
Sorry, for all those listening in, because it doesn't make good radio, he's wearing this headset that makes it look like he's working at Terminal 4.
Couldn't find my normal headset, could I? This is the work one.
I think you should keep it for the season, mate.
Good look.
Yeah.
Right. On to round 2. This is a really, really easy concept. Very simply, it's name the team. I'm going to give you a game from your chosen season. All you have to do is name the 11 players that started for Spurs and 2 substitutes. Okay, so it's exactly the same for both of you. There are 11 starters, 2 substitutes. You don't have to name them in order. Okay, so you just name me the players. However, as soon as you get one player wrong, that's where your score ends. So, for instance, if you name me 3 correct players, but on the 4th one, that player didn't appear in that game, then you would only score 3 points. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, you're up first. And
okay.
Your game is Spurs 4-1 win over Watford, FA Cup semi-final, Saturday the 11th of April, 1987. So 11 starters and 2 subs in any order, and I will tick them off one by one as you go.
Okay. I'm just writing this down for a minute. Is that all right?
No.
Yep. It's absolutely. As long as you're not Googling, Dave, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Hang on a second. I know this doesn't make for good radio. Let me just.
Doesn't actually make for great telly either, mate.
Doesn't it? Oh, well. That makes no change for me on the cheese room. I don't make for good telly, does it? Hang on a second. There we go. Right. Okay. I'll start. Ready? Clive Allen.
Yes.
Steve Hodge.
Yes.
Ozzy Ardiles.
Yes.
Glenn Hoddle.
Yes.
Paul Allen.
Yes.
Chrissy Waddle.
Yes.
Gary Mabbott.
Yes.
Richard Goff.
Yes.
Ray Clements.
Yes.
Mitchell Thomas.
Yes.
Now the right back is the one this is why I've deliberately gone to the right back at the end, because Danny Thomas unfortunately wasn't playing. So it's either Gary Stevens or Chrissy Houghton. And I know that Houghton played in the final, but I just have this feeling that Gary Stevens played in the semi. But I'll go Chris Houghton.
Yes. Yeah, he's the starting 11. I need your 2 subs.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about that. The 2 subs. So it would be Nico Klaassen.
Yeah.
And I think it was Tony Galvin.
No!
Damn!
It was Gary Stevens.
Apologies to Gary, who's a friend of the cheese room.
He won't be coming back on.
No, he won't. Once he hears this.
Sure, he's talked about that.
Very impressive, though, Dave. 12 points. So,
yeah.
Franco, you've got it all to do, mate. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, your team is Spurs 4-2 defeat to Chelsea, FA Cup semi-final, Saturday the 22nd of April, 2017. 11 starters, 2 subs in any order. I think you look quite happy, Franco. Don't let yourself down, mate. Don't peak too soon.
I'm not going to, because I've revised.
Oh, no!
And when you said an important game, I looked through the season and thought this can be the only one. And I was there. So, right. Lloris, we played 3 at the back. This is when Son played at left wing back.
Yes.
We had Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and Dyer.
Yeah.
No Walker. Trippier was at right back.
Yeah.
Wanyama, Dembele in the middle.
Yeah.
The holy trinity of Eriksen, Ali, and Kane.
Yeah. Point off for saying Ali instead of Dele, but go on, I'll let it go.
He was called Ali back then, I think you'll find. And then Walker came on, and I remember when George Nkudu came on, and everyone was like, "Oh, maybe you can do something," and he did nothing.
Oh my goodness, Franco, you smashed it, mate! Full points, 13 points.
That reminds me of my A-levels media study, where I literally revised one topic in the hope it would come up, and it didn't. And this time it has.
I can't quite believe you've done that, Franco. Absolutely superb.
Honestly, the only game I thought it could be.
Well, I shouldn't have been so predictable. So the revised scores: Franco 20, Dave 18. Franco, you're actually pulling ahead, mate. I can only see this going one way, but I might be proved wrong.
Dave's got those away games in his locker for the later round, though. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, yeah, we have quite interesting rounds coming up where all points are kind of up for grabs. So the third round, and I'm very dubious about this. After I kind of planned this round, which I thought would be a really good idea, I'm now starting to doubt myself. It's called Beat the Host. Really, really simple, and it's where things can change. Before we began tonight, I asked you each to come up with 3 questions to ask me from your season of choice. What you need to do, or what you should have done, is rank those questions 1, 2, and 3. If I get the question correct, you would lose that amount of points off your score. But if I get it incorrect, you gain that amount of points. So you like I say, each have 3 questions. You can only use the point system for a question once. So one question is worth 1, and so on and so on. But you can lose points if I get your question right. I'm hoping you haven't come up with random stuff like, how many car parking spaces were there at White Hart Lane in 1987? But we'll see. So, Franco, you can go first. All you've got to say is 1, 2, or 3, and ask your question.
So there has to be one of each, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah.
All right. Dave's now looking up the price of pies at White Hart Lane in 1986.
Yeah, I am.
What beer was on tap?
Holston. I know that one. Holston.
Okay, I'll start. This is going to be a number 1.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
How many league games did Tottenham win by at least a 4-goal margin?
Oh my God. Oh, it's going to have to just be a stab in the dark. I'll try and go through and remember. Obviously, I think it was Stoke a couple of times. Was that the season with Leicester?
Leicester, Hull.
Okay, yeah, keep going. What was it, by 4 or more?
Yeah.
I will say 7.
I think you'll find it's 8.
Oh, no. Go on. What were they? Have you got them?
Yes. So it was at Stoke, like you said.
Yeah.
We beat Swansea 5-0.
Oh, forgot that.
West Brom, we beat 4-0. Stoke, we beat again 4-0, but at home. Yeah. And then Watford, Bournemouth, and then the last 2 at the end of the season, Hull and Leicester.
Well, yeah, the 2 at the end of the season. Yeah, good question. Dave, try and make it a little bit easier.
For the 1 point question.
Okay.
All right, 1 point question. Who was the 4th signing of the season?
Oh, God. Okay, so I did look at this, and
that's good news.
Would say Steve Hodge.
Correct.
Yes. Get in. Okay, I don't expect to get any more right, but at least I didn't completely make a fool of myself. So I've got 1. That'll do. Feel a bit more relaxed now. So, Franco, you're pulling away, mate. You points up, but you could lose 2 points here or 3. It's up to you which order you go. So, yeah, go for it.
Okay, 2 points.
Okay.
How many clean sheets did Hugo Lloris keep in the league?
Again, it's going to have to be a stab in the dark. I'm going to try and think. You've gone very specific here, Franco, with your results, but I should have looked at this.
Well, it's because Michel Vaughan played as well that season, and he kept a few.
Don't try and confuse me. Don't try and
listen to these tactics here. This is appalling.
Yeah, mind games and dirty tricks going on here, I tell you.
It's saddening.
I will say 11.
Lucky, it's 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should have gone. Obviously, we had the best defence in the league, didn't we? I should have gone for a higher number.
Yeah, when the thing is, Vaughan kept 3 in the league as well. So we had 18 clean sheets that season, which is insane.
Bloody hell. With Toby and Jan really barely having to do anything because it was all mopped up in front of them. So
very much.
Barely broke sweat, did they? Right, Dave.
And the spectre of Davinson Sanchez had yet to come into view.
And we just got rid of Fazio as well, so he wasn't around.
Fazio. Okay, you ready? This is for 2 points. Are you ready, Seb?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the greatest records ever made. No, Seb, not Let Me Entertain You by your favourite chicken in a basket singer, Robbie Williams, was, of course, Diamond Lights by our very own Glenn and Chris that was released that season.
Yeah.
I'd like you to tell me, what was the highest position in the UK singles chart did it reach?
So I think I might know this, and I don't know how. I think there's a famous The Top of the Pops clip when they're on Top of the Pops, and it comes up with the number, and I think it's number 11.
Very, very sadly, it's number 12.
Oh, no! Oh, what a way! 2 points for you there, Dave. Okay. Franco, your 3-point question.
So but the thing is, you've said the ones were quite hard, so I don't really want to make it too difficult for you.
Yeah, go easy on me, mate.
So, all right, I'm not going to do that. For 3 points, Shayon Harrison made his only senior appearance of the season against who?
So I think that would be League Cup. Has to be League Cup. Shit, hold on. So FA Cup was Wickham. No. So I don't want to give too much away for the questions that I'm going to ask you. So I will say Gillingham.
Ooh, unlucky. It was the next one, Liverpool.
No, what? Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Against Liverpool.
Okay. 3 points, Franco. You full house there, mate. Dave, you need this to kind of stay or keep up. So your 3-point question.
I'm slipping behind in the race here against someone who was asked to remember what packet of crisps he got last week. Anyway, so for 3 points, Seb, are you ready?
Yeah.
What was the name of the QPR player whose tackle ended Danny Thomas's career?
Oh no. So it might be. I wonder if I'm not asking for clues here. I'm thinking out loud. There was a bad boy of the 80s who actually my dad used to coach, believe it or not. And I don't know if it's him, but I think he played for QPR. Was it Millwall? No, he played for Millwall.
He played for quite a few clubs.
Did he play for Rangers as well at one point?
Played for quite a few clubs.
That's a yes.
Terry Hurlock.
Unfortunately, no. I thought you were thinking Mark Dennis, but it's actually Gavin Maguire.
No, that is very hard, Dave. That is mega hard.
Well, it's 3 points, Seb. I acted in accordance with the brief.
Yeah.
Franco went in with some kind of space coordinates of the shuttle for his 1 point question. Come on.
Oh, dear.
The challenge that must have happened in your season as well, to be fair, Dave. Was it the Challenger or whatever it was called?
Yeah. Oh, that one. Oh, the terrible thing. Yeah. Let's not go on about natural disasters of the 86-87 season and not talking signing Mitchell Thomas either.
Right, let me just change these scores. And so we now have Franco, you are on 26, and Dave, you are on 22, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking points off.
So there's still a lot to play for because the next round really is where everything can change. Very, very simply. So this is called home or away. You might have seen this on famous sports quiz that's on TV around the world. So there are 5 questions for you both here. You can choose to go home and be asked a question about your season. Or you can choose to go away and be asked a question on the opponent's season. The only difference is home questions score 1 point, away questions score 2 points. So, Dave, your criticism that Franco's remembering things from yesterday, you have that opportunity now, and you will actually get bonus points if you go for that. However, if you go for a home question and get it wrong, your opponent has the chance to answer, and they will be awarded away points, if that makes sense. And likewise, if you go for an away question and get it wrong, Your opponent has the opportunity to answer, and they will get their 1 point for answering what is effectively a home question for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It is alternate questions, so you'll be able to kind of calculate what you want to do on every question, whether you want to kind of chase it or settle. Franco, I think I know what you're going to do.
Yeah, this is your chance, Dave. An exciting comeback.
Right, this is like question of sport, and Franco, you're looking a bit like Tuffers today, so it's only apt.
It's pretty fair.
Okay, Franco, you are. Oh, let me get my questions right. Franco, you are. Oh no, sorry, Dave, you are up first, actually. So, would you like a home question or an away question?
Well, look, there's no way on earth that Franco's going to go away on any of this because it requires him to look deep into the club's history of he loves. So, but it's a five round game, round. So I'm just going to go home as my first one.
Okay. Spurs conceded just once in their last 9 home games. Who was it against?
Bloody hell. Oxford.
Spot on. 1 home point for Dave. Franco.
Hey.
Home or away?
Home, please.
Which player was sent off as Spurs crashed out to Ghent in the Europa League?
Delhi.
Spot on. Okay, Dave. Home or away?
I'm going to go away.
Ooh, it's a tough one as well. Okay, you can go 1,000 either way.
I hate these bloody questions of the numbers. Go on.
What was the average attendance at White Hart Lane in 2016-17?
31,000.
He's spot on. 2 points.
Yes.
31,639. Obviously, with reduced attendance because of half the stand was missing. So
I think that should have been exact. We should have had the exact number.
Right, Franco. Just so you know, obviously you've got a question in hand, but it's now 27-25. So, are you home or away?
Home, please.
Surprise.
Which 2 players were sold for £13 million each in successive days in August?
Who did we get rid of? For 13 million. Chadley?
Is one. I need the other for the point.
It wasn't Tom Carroll. We didn't sell for that much. I'm going to go with Ryan Mason.
Oh, he's done it.
Yeah.
I wanted you to go Bentaleb, and I'd have said no. That was an initial loan, and no.
Bentaleb was more as well, wasn't he? He was quite
16 million.
Okay. Dave, it's now 28-25. Home or away?
Oh. Well, look, Sue Barker, I'm going to have to go away.
Okay, away. Which European giants did Spurs beat 6-1 in a pre-season friendly in Oslo with Kane, Mason, Dele, Lamela, Janssen, and the aforementioned Shayon Harrison all scoring?
Better get it, Dave.
Oh, Jesus, that's not fair. I'm going to go Juventus.
Oh, unlucky.
No, wrong team. Franco for a point.
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan.
You know, they played a pre-season tour in Australia. I saw them play Atletico Madrid in Melbourne. I should get bonus points for that. Thanks very much.
What, for going to a football match? All right.
I flew to another football match.
That's fair enough. I flew to about 4 that season, Dave. So.
Oh, God almighty. Go on.
Franco, you're now winning 29-25. Home or away?
Home, please.
Oh, Franco, come on. Show your mettle. Go away. Come on, son.
I'm happy to be a pussy. Sorry, Dave.
Oh, come on.
That's quotes going on the front of every podcast for the forthcoming season. Okay, who scored more goals in all competitions in 2016-17? Delhi or Son?
Delhi.
Yeah, you got the point, but do you want to tell me how many?
No, like 17 or something. 17, 18.
Is your next home question who was the chairman of Tottenham during that season, or who was the manager? I mean, come on, that was easy. Seriously.
To be fair, it was close. Delhi got 22, Son got 21.
Yeah,
So
I knew it was close, but I knew it was Delhi. You had virtually the same question earlier, Dave. Stop moaning.
Oh, come on. What,
Okay.
from 35 years ago? Go on.
Dave, home or away?
So what's the point score now?
It's 30-25.
Yeah, I've got to wipe the smart. I've got to try and undermine Tuffers here. I'm going to go away.
Okay. Spurs trailed 3-2 with 1 minute remaining in the FA Cup fourth round, but won 4-3 after goals from Delhi and Son. Who was the opposition?
Ah, Jesus. It wasn't Millwall. For some reason, I've got Stockport in my head.
Oh, is that your answer?
Well, hang on a minute. Well, hang on a
I
second.
think you've told him the answer's not Stockport there.
So the answer's not Stockport. It's got to be around that area.
Southport.
Is it? It's South Fork in Dallas, and that's not my answer. Right. It's got to be. I know, Wycombe Wanderers.
Oh, he's pulled it out.
Yes. Come on, Tuffers.
Also, with your Shayon Harrison question that you asked me earlier, Franco, I did mention Wycombe when I was going through, and I kicked myself as I said it. I thought, oh, bloody hell. But yeah, 2 points
Come on,
there,
Franco. You're going to be a man. You're going to go back to the year of 86, 87. Curiosity Killed the Cat, one of your favourites. Come on.
I'll tell you what, because after I've written options for every question, so we'll not for points, but after we've done this round, we'll cover the questions that I didn't ask, and
yeah, sure.
You'll see. So, Franco, home or away?
Home.
Oh, home. Please.
Okay. There's 3 answers to this. There was another late show in April when Spurs trailed Swansea 1-0 with 2 minutes to go, only to win 3-1. I need all 3 goal scorers.
That's the one where Ericsson scored in the last minute or like extra time, wasn't it?
Well, they all scored in the last minute because there was 2 minutes to go.
No, as in Ericsson scored the last one because I remember him getting that.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Son, and I think was it Kane? I'm going to go with Delhi.
So go on, give me 3. Sorry.
Delhi, Son, Ericsson.
Absolutely spot on.
Can I get a bonus point for who scored for Swansea?
You can just tell me, but no bonus point. Go on. Who was it?
It was Routledge, who used to play for us.
Oh, yeah. I can remember that.
And which Dutch superstar came on and did a very important back heel?
Janssen.
Yes.
Was that the game that the lad for Swansea, was it Gomi collapsed, and everyone absolutely was really worried about it for about 2 minutes, and then it came out like shortly afterwards that it was a regular thing that he did was faint just randomly. Do you remember that? I'm sure that was the game right at the start of the game.
I think I just remember. I know. Look, obviously, it's a seismic important event and serious, but I think that was Vincent Janssen's finest moment at Spurs shirt, that back heel. So, to be honest,
don't think you're wrong. Right, Dave, you have one question each left. So, home or away?
What's the score? What's the scores now?
It's 31-27.
I've got to go away, haven't I?
Okay. Name the missing team.
Oh,
Chelsea, blank, Liverpool, West Ham.
I know this one as well. Better get this, Dave.
Chelsea, blank, Liverpool, West Ham.
Better get this.
I do not have a clue. I mean, it's obviously it's in the league. Was it the Chelsea in January one of the best performances under Poch's regime, or was it earlier in the season when he mysteriously rotated against them? Or was it the semi-final? And then we played. I don't think we played them that late in the season. And Winks, that might have been the West Ham game that Winks scored. Chelsea blank Liverpool. I haven't got a clue. But normally Chelsea and the Goons come near each other, so I'm going to go the Goons, Arsenal.
He's wrong, Franco.
Ah,
Man United, the 4 teams we lost to.
That's it. It's just a 4 teams.
what? You went sequential before for me, and then that's pretty tricky. Come on. That is pretty poor.
Okay,
Not if you did your research for 2 hours today, Dave, like some people.
And actually, Franco, to be fair, you did play it pretty cool, because I said to you halfway through today, I hope you're researching, and you're like, no, I'm at work, too busy.
I haven't done anything. I literally started it about 6 o'clock and finished.
Yeah, no, that's really fair, Seb, because you sent that to me about 11 p.m. last night. As I was just getting into...
You live in some mad time zone, Dave. Come on.
But this is the ethos of the whole cheese room. We're all around the world, and you asked me if I've revised at 11 p.m. at night as I'm just getting into my Harry Potter pajamas.
Surely you could have conjured up a spell, Dave. Right.
Oh, very good.
Franco, home or away?
Huh? Isn't that it?
You've got one more.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Franco. You're so far ahead. Come on, son.
Home, please.
Oh, come on.
No one cares about 1986, all right? No one cares.
In what round did Spurs go out of the League Cup?
Oh,
that's a tricky
please.
one. That's a 4th round.
Yes.
Oh,
2.
Honestly.
To Liverpool.
Okay, right, chaps, that's the end of that round. Franco, you have got significant lead now. It's 33-27. So let me just
have a little lie down then, shall I?
You go to Stansted and direct some more planes, eh?
Forget which side it is. Roger. Landing gear down. Approach the north runway.
So, chaps, the last round. Oh, in fact, let's go over the questions that I didn't ask, and we just open this up to both of you. So, for Dave's away question, if he'd have gone away, would have for his first question would have been name all 3. Try and do it the other way around. So, Dave, you answer the 2016-17 questions. Franco, you answer the 1986-87 questions. No points for this. Let's just see what would have happened if you'd have gone away. So,
yeah, Franco, let's see what would have happened, eh? Come on.
Nil point.
Name all 3 of Spurs Champions League group opponents.
Oh, I can do that.
Me?
Yes,
Monaco, Leverkusen, CSKA, Moscow.
Indeed. Okay.
Oh, I should have gone there, shouldn't I? Oh, regrets. I've had a few.
Franco, which club did Spurs sign Richard Gough from in 1986?
Who's that?
Which club did Spurs sign Richard Gough from in August 1986?
Do you want to ring your grandparents?
No, I know. I bet it's a Scottish club, isn't it?
Oh, Poirot. Very good.
I don't know.
I'll go.
Aberdeen.
Dundee United. Dundee United.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this was Dave's home question, but he actually went away. So, Franco, you can answer this or give it a go. As mentioned before, Spurs beat Watford in the FA Cup semi-final, but who were the other 2 semi-finalists that season?
I've got no idea.
Well, you must be able to name one of them.
Oh, God almighty.
Cov, and I don't know the other one.
Dave?
Poirot strikes again. Well done, Franco, on that one. I think Coventry beat Leeds.
They did, yes. Absolutely spot on. Okay. Franco's away question would have been, or on one of the options would have been, which future Spurs player was on the bench for winners Coventry in the 1987 FA Cup final?
No idea.
Oh, come on, Franco. Dave?
Someone actually asked me this at work yesterday and looking all smug. And I said, Steve Sedgley straight away.
Spot on.
There we go.
Where do you work? Do you work at like the Tottenham Museum or something?
He works in the 80s.
I get into my DeLorean every morning. There's the dock, and back in time we go to a time of no Davison Sanchez.
Exactly. It goes back to his happy time.
Correct.
1986, 87.
Okay, I like this question. This would have been Dave's home question for 1986-87 season. A reserve team took on champions Everton in a nothing game in the penultimate match of the season. Who played in goal?
Who's this for? Sorry, Dave.
Well, you can both of you have a go. Yeah.
So it's a reserve team. Played
Effectively, yeah. I mean, it was to rest players, I think, ahead of FA Cup finals and fixtures congestion and stuff.
So who was the reserve goalie that year? Come on, Franco.
I don't know.
If I think I know who it is, he was possibly one of the most famous reserve goalkeepers we had at the time. Going down. Is that your answer, Tony Parks?
Yeah, go on.
That's correct. It was Tony Parks.
Well done, Franco. I mean, if I'd have said to you his name begins with T and ends in Only Parks as a clue, I think you'd have got it.
Okay. The next one is who was, or Franco, you can have a go at this. Who was Player of the Year in 1987?
Could be Clive Allen.
It's wrong.
Is it?
It wasn't Clive Allen. Surprised me as well. Not according to the records that I see. Dave?
The club's Player of the Year, do you mean voted for by the supporters?
No, voted by everybody else, Dave.
Voted by Davison Sanchez in some kind of time.
Voted by Liverpool fans.
Voted by Marty Pello, the lead singer of Wet, Wet, Wet. I would say it was the Lord Al Hod, given it was his last season, Glenn Hoddle.
No, it wasn't. No.
What?
I double checked. It was Gary Mabbott.
Oh, Mabsy. Sorry, Mabsy.
Might have been a little sympathy vote after the cup final. I don't know. Dave, one of your home questions. I like this question. What was unusual about the games home to West Ham and away to Coventry, December 1986?
What was unusual?
Yeah.
That's a very esoteric question.
It's going to be something about the kit. Something about the kit, isn't it? Or something.
No.
So, home to West Ham, we beat them 4-1 or 4-0. Hodge made his debut. Away at Coventry, I think we somehow managed to lose that. We were 2 up, lost 3-2.
4-3, I think it was.
4-3.
Yeah.
So, what was unusual? We showed our usual inconsistency over the Christmas period. I've got no idea.
You've kind of answered it in terms of the Christmas period. They were played on successive days.
Oh. So that was a home question for me.
That was a home question for you.
I would never have got that.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we now? Franco, this is a good one. Can you name 2 of the teams that finished 5th, 6th, or 7th? So there's obviously 3 options. You just got to give me 2. It doesn't have to be in the right position. Just give me 2 of the teams that finished 5th, 6th, or 7th in 1986-87.
Oh, I've got no idea. No idea.
Dave?
5th, 6th, or 7th. Gooners?
No, they were 4th.
Ooh.
Everton.
Man United. No, Everton won it. Everton won it. We came 3rd. Everton 1st, Liverpool 2nd, Tottenham 3rd, Goons 4th. Man United have really cracked that year. They were finished further down.
I'll tell you, it's a proper 80s league. You'd think 1980s football and who finished where during various points of the 80s.
Norwich
were 5th.
Proper 80s football. Let's go Sheffield Wednesday.
No. So you got Norwich 5th, Wimbledon 6th, and Luton Town 7th.
Oh, Luton Town. That was a proper away game. No away fans allowed, AstroTurf. I managed to sneak in a ticket. Very bad atmosphere. They hated police. That's what proper football was about in the 80s, Franco. What were you doing? Were you at the creche or something?
Most of our listeners are going to be Googling those teams going, I've never heard of them.
It's why it always gets me when people say what a big shock it was when Wimbledon beat Liverpool the following year in the FA Cup final. like they were some kind of fourth division minnows. I know they'd come up from there, but the season before they finished sixth in the league and got to the quarterfinals. It wasn't a big shock, especially the way that they played. Right, final question. Obviously, in this was an away question for Franco. So Franco, you can have this one first. Again, 1,000 either way. Spurs average attendance in 1986-87.
I've got absolutely no idea.
Dave,
I'll say
just guess.
34,000.
No. Go on, Dave.
Well, you know what? In doing my research for this, we're not at 11 o'clock last night and looking at a few old videos. Some of the crowds were pretty poor that season, actually. So I am going to go for 27,000.
You would have just missed it if you'd have gone for it. It's 25,910. So you'd be 90
people. 90 people.
Wow.
But yeah, the attendances were really. I mean, it was 80s football. The attendances in general dropped off everywhere. But yeah, that was
because Dave was going around beating people up, making everyone scared.
I was going around in my Pierre Cardin tracksuit, in my woolly jumper top, and my black slip-ons with white toweling socks. I looked quite the person in those days, let me tell you. But I should get a bonus point for kind of getting Seb's first game right. I mean, important thing to you in your life, Seb.
Yeah, it was. It was impressive, but yeah, you need to stop asking for bonus points, Dave. You need to concentrate on the real points. So the last round, and this is the last round. It's very simple. It's the Who Am I round. I will read out clues to a player who featured for Spurs in the season that you've chosen. There are 5 clues, and you got 2 players each. So we'll go alternate again. Franco, you can start. 5 points if you guess correctly after the first clue, and so on down to 1 point after the 5 clues. However, if you guess incorrectly, you score 0, and in addition, your opponent can guess, and they will get 5 points. Okay, so even if you've had 4 clues and then you guess incorrectly for your 2 points, your opponent, if you get it wrong, can come in, and if they guess correctly, they get 5 points. So if after a clue you are not sure, just say move on. The opponent does not get to guess until you get it wrong. Does that make sense?
Yep. Can I just say, I already know what Franco's strategy is going to be on this, and I'm keeping that to myself. and I will reveal at the end.
In fact, I'll tell you what we do. Dave, you're playing catch up. You're obviously 6 points behind, so you can go first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So your first, like I said, you both got 2 players. So we'll go Dave, Franco, and then that will be the end of the quiz. So, Dave, for 5 points, your first clue is Tottenham was the club that I made my first ever senior appearance for.
Right, okay. So if I go back and I look at this team that played against Watford that I picked out, of which only people who played that season, is that right?
Yes, people who played at some point in the 1986-87 season.
Right, so you kind of... Well, I can't actually. Hang on a minute, because
we're going to time limit this, or are we just going to?
I could. Well, I mean, there are really.
Dave, let me just remind you: if you say a name and it's wrong, that is it. And Franco can listen to all the clues
and get.
Okay. Well, right. I think it's one of 2, so I'm not going to answer.
Do you want me to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. For 4 points, your second clue. I went on to play for England.
Okay. Well, I'm locking it in, Eddie. Or not Eddie. Sorry, that's the Aussie version. Sorry. That's Eddie Maguire. He hosts it in over here. Sorry. I'm going with Glenn Hoddle.
Is the wrong answer.
Oh, no.
Okay. Franco. You will get 5 points if you get this correct. So you're for 3. Well, effectively, for Dave's 3 points, I had 2 spells at Spurs.
Oh,
Do you want me to carry on?
God almighty.
Yeah.
Oh,
I broke Peter Beardsley's jaw and both of Andy Cole's legs.
What? How do I not know this?
God almighty. Oh.
God, I really wish I'd done some research now, to be honest. Was it
You can have one more clue, remember?
Neil Ruddock didn't was it Neil Ruddock? No,
Are you looking in Neil Ruddock?
No, I'm not because he didn't start at Spurs. Or did he? Yeah, maybe. Fuck it. Yeah, Neil Ruddock. Go on.
Is the right answer, Frank. The final clue was I have a very sharp nickname. Yeah, we signed him from Millwall, but he'd never made an appearance for them. He made his first appearances for Spurs in 86, 87. Obviously then left, came back, played for England, went to Liverpool, broke Peter Beardsley's jaw, both of Andy Cole's legs, and and bloomed.
I think he came on as a sub against Wimbledon in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, shoring it up when we won 2-0.
He had an amazing England career as well, didn't he? Didn't he play how many games did he play?
Yeah, but to be fair, when he came back in the 92-93 season, he had a great season that season, him and Mabbott. He did play well.
Yeah, it was good. Right, Franco.
So you've won this, Franco. Mate, congratulations, Franco. Worthy winner. Well done, Dave.
Oh, no, there's still all to play for, Dave. There's still 15 points up for grabs here. So you're 11 behind. So
Seb, don't tell Franco I'm doing my Fergie psych on him. Mind games, right?
Yeah, but Dave also knows that I can just pass on all of my questions and I'll still win.
Oh, well, Franco, that's the Machiavellian thought I had in my head. You should go and work for NATO or something like that. Well done. Maybe you do.
Okay, come on, Franco. You've got to do it properly, mate. You know, have a show us a little bit of what you're about. Are you ready for 5 points?
Yeah.
My middle name is Billy.
So a player that played that season whose name is Billy.
Middle name is Billy.
I mean, I don't know. Is it one of the what? Is it one of the Dutch boys?
Have a guess, Franco. Come on.
The thing is, like, Jan has got some weird ones, but I don't think they're Billy. No, I don't know.
Am I moving on?
Yeah, you better move on.
Oh, this is like George Graham's Arsenal. So negative.
I was named on the bench in a Premier League game in 2014 before I'd even signed a pro contract.
For Spurs?
Yeah.
In 2014? No, I don't know. Still don't know.
Okay.
You know, I might start calling you Mourinho this season, Franco, because you really are parking the bus here, aren't you? Honestly.
Well, no, I've got an idea who it might be. So, yeah, all right, fine. But I'll answer the next one. There you go, Dave.
Okay. My teammates mocked my goal celebration.
Yeah, I think it is. All right, Harry Winks.
It is. Yeah, 3 points, Franco. Well done. The other
we saying Dave. We saying Dave. Huh? We saying.
The next question is: my first name is Harry, and I'm Caller's favourite player of all time.
Harry Billy Winks. Who knew?
Yeah. Harry Billy Winks. So the other clues were I scored my first goal for the club against West Ham, and I am the Hemel Hempstead Iniesta. Were the final clues. Okay, Dave, just pride to play for, I'm afraid.
Pride in the Name of Love by U2, who released a Joshua Tree that year, just to say.
Okay, are you ready for your 5 points?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I signed for Spurs in June 1985.
I signed for Spurs in June 1985. Right. It's it's either one of two, as I said last time, and it turned out to be Neil Razor Ruddock. It's one of two. No, I'll go next clue, please.
Okay, for 4 points. I played for Southampton and Stoke, amongst other teams.
That's no one I thought it was going to be. So June, bloody hell, that's no one I thought whatsoever. Signed for Spurs, June 1985. 1985. Well, that's just. I'm going to go John Chiedozie.
No, wrong again. You could have had more clues.
I know, but come on, doesn't matter. Franco's put his feet up.
Okay, Franco. Next clue. I played in 3 FA Cup finals.
What for Spurs?
I can't say any more.
No, don't know. Pass.
Okay. I teamed up with a Spurs teammate in 1994 to help win promotion.
I know who this is. It was one of my two. It's Paul Allen.
It is Paul Allen.
You see, that's the thing. It was Chrissy Wadd and Paul Allen were signed at that time.
So the final clue was I have famous footballing uncles and cousins. But yeah. Never mind.
Oh, dearie me. It's 41-27. This is an absolute... I never have a good record in cheese room quizzes. I never have it. I don't have a good record. I mean, and also this broadcaster of the year scandal, people agreeing to vote for each other, people's sons voting for fathers. It's like Platini and Blatter all over again. It's a disgrace.
Are you trying to say this is a fix? Because if it is, I've received no money.
No, I'm not saying this is a fix. I'm just generally moaning.
End of the year. You realise as well that Caller's got like 6 or 7. No, he's probably got about 11 different devices in his home. So he was probably voting for himself on all of them.
Dave, I will say there is a 15-point bonus if you can tell me the season, because Caller was going to come on this show and bailed, unfortunately. If you can name me the season that Caller, I am only joking when I said 15 points, by the way, but if you can tell me the season that Caller would have done if he had come on, then you can get some kudos there.
Okay, well, I said to you, I picked the 2 seasons that Franco and Caller were going to pick. So I did say that Franco was going to go for the season before that he did pick, which is where we came 3rd in the 2-horse race. So it's kind of a season that ended in some kind of existential Radiohead kind of misery that's right up Franco's Straza. So that's what I was going for there. And because Caller is Mr. Short Term, I'm only looking at the short term here. He'd have gone last season. So that would have been a real stretch. But, if it had gone last season, we could have had a round on the last 10 minutes of Leicester away, which, of course, he didn't see.
Indeed. Although the thing that's come out of this is I never knew that Caller was from Burnley. So, which your accent certainly made it sound like. But right, Franco, your final round, just to rub salt into the wounds. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here's your question.
For 5 points. Spurs was my first English club.
That does not help. Next.
Do you want to take a punt?
Bloody hell, you've won by miles and you're not going to take a punt. What? You really are the Mourinho of the cheese room.
What would be the point? There's about 15 players in that squad that it was their first English club. So,
okay, next clue. I joined them as a 22-year-old.
See, I've got that. Could be Lamella.
Are you saying Lamella?
Yeah, I'll go Lamella.
He's wrong, Dave. Come on. 5-point bonus here. Do you want the next clue?
Yeah.
Mark Hughes was a big fan.
Mark Hughes? His first English club at the age of 22. Yeah, first English club. I think it's a little bit. Hang on. It's not Ben Davies, is it?
Are you locking in Ben Davies?
I'm locking in Ben Davies.
You're wrong, Dave.
What?
No.
Kevin Wimmer? Was it Kevin Wimmer?
It's Kevin Wimmer.
Yeah.
Oh, Augustus Gloop. Kevin Wimmer.
The next two clues were I currently play back home in Austria and I was sold to Stoke for £18 million. And people knocked Daniel Levy.
Oh, hang on. We're not doing that. Thanks very much. We're not going there. I'm on holiday from that.
Well, I have to say that concludes the quiz, which Franco, I like you, mate. We've known each other years, but did I ever think you would win a quiz by 14 points? I definitely didn't. So, absolutely well done to you. And that concludes it. I hope, guys, that you enjoyed it. I hope our viewers enjoyed it. And I do hope both of you come back. Franco, you'll need to defend your crown. And Dave, you'll need to brush up and choose a season that is a little bit more with the times.
Well, I'm a bit disappointed, frankly, Franco's negative tactics throughout this. It's disappointing. We'll no doubt discuss it in the green room after the show.
Dave, stick to what you know, mate.
What's that? Fuck all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, thank you ever so much again. We'll wrap it up there. As always, thank you for people for watching. Please like, subscribe, and do all the things that you have to do on YouTube. Also, you may have seen there's more Patreon. Franco, you talk about Patreon. You're far more better at it than me. You know more about Patreon.
All right. If you want to get involved supporting the podcast, then go to patreon.com/the Cheese Room Podcast. You get to join in our Slack chat. We have a regular chat app where we're talking to all of the patrons and the podders, get involved in lots of football discussion about everything you can think of Spurs related every single hour of the day. There's also merch for those that are long-term pod supporters. So yeah, get involved. Extra content. There's Dave modelling the mug that we sent out. So lots of good stuff. Get involved. Help the pod. It's only £3 a month. Patreon.com/the Cheese Room Podcast.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Well done, Seb. That was a great quiz.
I think we're still live.
Oh, sorry.